Welcome. It is Verdict with Senator Ted Cruz, Ben Ferguson with you. And on this holiday weekend, we decided to replay an awesome episode that we did about a year ago. And that is Senator Ted Cruz's favorite movies, a great list. And if you are like the two of us and you love to watch movies over the holiday break with your family, you do not want to miss this list. Senator, what's on your list? What are you going to rewatch during Christmas this year?
Well, listen, let me just say Merry Christmas to everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful, relaxing Christmas. And one of the things that I've always done at Christmas from when I was a kid to now is my family, we go to the movies. My dad loves movies. My mom loves movies. And so we go to the movies, particularly Christmas time. We'll go see movies, and so we want to play you a list of 30 of the greatest movies of the 21st century, and if you watch them, put a comment down below. Let us know if you like the movies. Let us know if there are any you want to add. But here is 30, any one of which would be a great way to spend some time with your family over this Christmas break.
Senator, people that don't know you well, I'm gonna give them a little bit of a clue. You absolutely love movies, and you put together a list of your favorite movies and also series and shows that you watch. And if you've ever wondered what Senator Cruz is watching when he's flying all the time, here's a really good list we're going to be giving you on this Christmas.
Well, and let me just echo that. Merry Christmas. I hope you're having a wonderful and blessed day. I hope Santa came down the chimney and your kids are overjoyed and you're spending time maybe with some hot cocoa. We often do Christmas by the tree where I'll be in my bathrobe, we'll all be in our pajamas. The kids will be opening presents. We all actually have cups of hot cocoa. And it's a beautiful time, and it's a beautiful time to reflect not just on the love your family has for each other, but the love God has for us and the salvation he sent for us. Now, I don't know about you, but over holidays, what my family has always done is we go to movies. We go to movies over Thanksgiving break. We go to movies over Christmas break. I love movies as a kid. Both my parents loved movies. I would go to movies with my mom and dad when I was a little kid. I still go to movies with them now.
By the way, you're a movie theater guy, just so people know this.
Oh, I like the real theaters. I like the big screen. I like popcorn and gummy bears and you know the experience of being there. And by the way, I'm also rabid about staying until the very end, till the last moment of the credits play. I will not get up and leave. There's a sense of completeness, of appreciating the entirety of the movie. And so what we decided we'd do today is put together just a compilation of movies that I love, that I recommend to you. And hopefully as you're taking some time with your family, maybe you'll go watch one of them and laugh or cry, and it'll touch you. And you'll enjoy it. And I think art and storytelling are beautiful, beautiful things.
So with that being said, here are the big shows and the big movies on Senator Cruz's list. Merry Christmas. I get asked all the time from many of you guys that are watching or listening right now, what is Ted Cruz like behind the scenes? So we thought we'd have a little fun. I'm going to ask him some questions. And you're even going to find out what his favorite movies are. Senator, we're going to have a little fun. I get asked all the time when I'm all over the country. It happened this last week in New York. So what is Ted Cruz really like behind the scenes? And I say, if people got to see the side of you that I know, you're actually really fun to be around. You're also a huge movie buff as well. And so I'm going to ask some fun questions just to kind of let people know behind the curtain who you really are. So let's start with this. What is the last thing you watched on a plane?
What is the last thing I watched on a plane was Outer Banks.
Okay.
Which is a series. It's a teeny bopper series.
And it's phenomenal.
I am in the middle of season 3, and there's a reason I'm watching a teeny bopper series, which is my youngest daughter, Catherine, loves Outer Banks. She's at camp right now.
Yep.
And when I dropped her off at camp, she said, Dad, I want you to watch Outer Banks. And I want you to write to me in letters and tell me what you think as the season's progressing. And so I've been regularly, I write to her about every couple of days, and I tell her, okay, here's where I am. I'm at this point. This character just died.
Who's your favorite character?
JB.
Yeah,
John
mine
B.
too. No doubt about it.
So she asked me that. I'm a little troubled. Her favorite character is JJ, who is kind of a, look,
yeah.
I guess if you're a 13-year-old girl, he's always doing the dumbest thing imaginable, but he's kind of I like John B. John B. is a good character.
It's such a fun show. So when you were growing up, what was it that you were watching? High school, college?
By the way, spoiler alert, I apologize if you haven't seen it. I'm going to give a spoiler alert right now. So
ready.
Just fast forward through this if you don't want a spoiler alert. But in season 2, when Ward is blown up, I knew Ward was not blown up. And so I wrote her. I said, yeah, Ward just died. I'm very confident he's alive, and I remembered they keep scuba gear in the boat. He got in the scuba gear, and then 7 episodes later,
it's like Encyclopedia Brown books. Remember those?
There you go.
got to figure it out, and you're like, they got to keep this. They got to keep the series going.
So I felt pretty good that I was at least a step ahead of the Teeny Bopper series.
I like that. So what were you watching in high school? Like, what were your favorite shows? What was your favorite movie?
So
growing
look,
up?
I love movies. My parents love movies. Like we would, this is what we do. So every holiday, every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, my family would go out and watch movies.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Of course it is.
Okay, good.
Absolutely, yes. There's only one right answer.
Okay, good.
Die Hard is absolutely a Christmas movie. But we would go out and do movies when I was a kid. When I was 8, 9 years old, my dad would drop me off at the theater all Saturday. And I'd watch 5 movies. I'd go from one theater to the next, and just watch everything there. We all love movies. So what I've done today for this show is I put together a list of 25 movies. Now, this is not exclusive. This is not the only 25 movies I like. And I don't even know that it's my 25 favorite, but it's 25 awesome movies, which if you haven't watched, I recommend you watch. You will enjoy them. You will laugh. You will be moved. You will get good things from them. So let's go through the 25.
Well, I got to ask one more question for you, 25. What movie have you watched the most in your life over and over again?
Well, that actually happens to be number 1 on the list.
I knew it. I like this.
So my favorite movie of all time is The Princess Bride.
Really?
I love The Princess Bride.
Why?
I think every character in it is exquisite. Every line from every character is fantastic. I'll tell you, in college, we used to play a game called Drinking Princess Bride. And so the way you play Drinking Princess Bride is you sit down with a bunch of college kids, you put the movie on, and you try to say each line immediately before it's said. If you get it right, you point at somebody, they have to drink. If you screw it up even slightly, you drink. And if 2 or more people say the same line at the same time, everybody drinks. So when you get to the As You Wishes...
So this is why you were so sober in college. Now I understand
Look, when you get to the As You Wishes,
yeah,
everyone can get them, so they're all socials. And it is a fun game. My problem is I know just about every line from the movie, but I'll screw them up slightly, so I end up kind of getting myself because I try an awful lot of them. But it is an exquisite movie. I've probably watched The Princess Bride, I don't know, a couple hundred times.
No way.
Yeah, it is fantastic.
So that's number 1 on your list.
Far and away. Number 2 on my list is the Godfather saga.
Couldn't agree with you more. One of the best series ever made, period.
And I'm not going to break it down between 1, 2, and 3. I even like 3, which is a bit of a heretical idea. I think 3 stands on its own as its own movie the least, that 3 only makes sense in conjunction with 1 and 2.
Which is when you're in the club. I kind of like that. Like, you can't fake it and go see number 3 and think, oh, that was incredible. You have to be in it.
And look, I quote all of them all the time, from 3. Every time I get out, they keep pulling me back in. I will say it was a little depressing with my team where I turned, Senate staffers are all children. Your average...
We should put that on a T-shirt.
Your average Senate staffer is 23, 24, 25. So things like Godfather quotes, they just don't get. And so I said something. I said, this is the business we have chosen. And everyone looked at me confused. And I said, okay, and I had 6 staffers there. I said, all right, do any of you have any idea what I'm saying? They're all like, no. I said, okay, this is Godfather 2. And this is a conversation between Hyman Roth, who is clearly modeled after Meyer Lansky, Hyman Roth and Michael Corleone, and they're down in Miami. And Hyman Roth goes, Michael, I had a friend since childhood. Mo Green was his name. And one day somebody put a bullet in his eye. I did not ask who was responsible. I did not seek retribution. I said, this is the business we have chosen. None of them had any idea what I was talking about.
Team building night in the Senate. You should totally bring them in 1, 2, and 3.
Just 9 hours. We're going to sit down.
This is what you're going to do. That's team building 101.
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday.
There you go. All right, favorite line from any of the Godfathers, the best one. Mine's the cannoli.
Leave the gun, take the cannoli.
Yeah, no brainer. Number 3 on your list.
Scarface.
Really?
Oh, I love me some Scarface.
Why?
Notice Pacino has 2 spots in my
I'm
top
seeing a
3.
theme here.
I like Pacino. Okay, I love crime movies. And look, Scarface, Tony Montana, he's Cuban. I'm Cuban. It's, it is larger than life. I can quote a lot of lines from it. To be honest, I'm not going to because they're pretty off color, and I'm going to avoid putting out on the podcast some of the language from it. But it is...
So crime genre is your thing.
And I like Pacino.
Yeah, he's amazing.
So my favorite TV show is Criminal Minds. I love Criminal Minds.
I'm actually shocked by that one because if there was only one box set I could take with me my whole life, like if I was stuck on a desert island, it'd be West Wing.
West Wing is fabulous. I've watched every episode of West Wing. I've watched every episode of Criminal Minds. But Criminal Minds I just find it fascinating. Heidi hates it, by the way. When Criminal Minds is on, she's like, turn that garbage off because, you've got evil, vicious murderers. I'm like, no, they're the bad guys, though.
Yeah.
It's all about stopping them. But she just doesn't like that in the house. All right, number 4, Fletch.
Never seen it.
You've never seen Fletch?
Never
okay,
in
Ben,
my life.
Go home tonight.
What's it about?
And watch Fletch. It may be the funniest movie ever made.
Really?
Chevy Chase plays Irwin Fletcher, an undercover investigative reporter. It is absolutely hysterical.
I love Chevy Chase, so that's
it's Chevy Chase's best movie.
No,
much better than Lampoon's Vacation. Much better than, and he's done a ton. I love Chevy Chase, but Fletch is head and shoulders above them all. Grant, who heads up my security detail. Grant and I quote Fletch lines back and forth at each other every week.
Really?
Put it on the list. Go and watch the movie.
I've never seen it.
It is spectacular.
All right, Fletch, I'm on it.
All right, number 5, Amazing Grace.
Also never seen it.
A lot of people have not seen it, but it is it is the true story of William Wilberforce. Now, William Wilberforce was a member of Parliament in the United Kingdom who led the effort to abolish the slave trade.
Very cool. Is it a true story?
It's a true story.
Okay.
And Wilberforce, so when he started as a young MP, the slave trade was the United Kingdom's single greatest source of revenue. It was their business. And he begins as this young MP arguing, we must end the slave trade. It is wrong. It is immoral. And everyone laughs at him. And it would be like if you were in Texas standing up saying we should ban oil and gas.
Yeah.
I mean, it was that
absurd of an idea back then.
And he spends 50 years battling for it, and the movie ends with him successfully championing and passing the legislation abolishing the slave trade and shutting down their most lucrative business because it was evil. And by the way, the title, Amazing Grace, do you know where it comes from?
What?
So the person who wrote the hymn, Amazing Grace, was a friar who had been the former captain of a slave ship.
Really?
He was the captain of a slave ship. And think of the words of the song Amazing Grace. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I see. And imagine the person writing that.
In that context.
Was the captain of a slave ship. Presumably he had murdered people, he had beaten people, he had whipped people. I mean, you think of the evil entailed in being the captain of a slave ship, and then the amazing grace that God offered redemption even in the face of the horrific evil. It puts a whole different character. The book is by Eric Metaxas, who's a fantastic author, Christian author, does great biographies. I highly recommend Amazing Grace. Number 6, Unforgiven.
Never seen it.
Oh, Unforgiven is
This is why it makes me laugh when we get to do shows like this, because I will go watch these now.
Okay, so Unforgiven, best Western ever made. Won the Academy Award for Best Picture. Clint Eastwood is in it.
I could do an age joke here. Was it in black and white?
No. It was actually late Eastwood. You were actually out of diapers when it came out.
Okay, gotcha.
Morgan Freeman is in it. Gene Hackman is in it. Gene Hackman is spectacular. What's interesting about Unforgiven that is so powerful is it turns all of the stereotypes of the Western on its head. So, for example, Clint Eastwood plays this outlaw who had turned over a good leaf and was good, and then was going back, gets hired. What happens is a woman who is a prostitute is badly cut up by a drunk cowboy, and they put out a reward to kill the cowboy who cut her up. And Clint Eastwood, as this retired outlaw, needs the money, and so is coming to collect the reward. And Morgan Freeman, his partner, comes with him. But there's a point where Clint Eastwood, there's a young kid who wants to be a gunslinger, and he's like practicing on shooting fast. And like Clint Eastwood says, well, for me, this is about as fast as I can draw my gun, point it, aim at it, pull the trigger, and hit what I'm aiming at. And he said in most firefights, people are scared out of their mind, and they're just terrified, and whoever can kind of calmly engage is who wins. And there's scenes where like everyone's like, oh crap, and they shoot their foot and they drop their gun and they're like freaking out, and he would just get drunk and just sort of systematically bang. And it really did invert many of the conventional wisdom of
being a fast draw and everything else.
And Gene Hackman's character is hysterical. He's the sheriff who initially you think might be the hero, but he very quickly becomes an anti-hero. So, excellent movie. Number 8, Team America.
I've actually seen it. Hilarious.
Okay, and I'm going a little edgy. So
yes.
Team America, World Police. It's a puppet movie.
I remember when it came out and everybody was in shock, but I was dying laughing.
So Heidi doesn't like movies very much. I took Heidi to see it. She almost fell to the floor laughing.
So y'all clicked on that one.
It is screamingly funny. Now, it makes fun of both sides.
Yeah.
It makes fun of Republicans, Democrats.
Everybody.
It's the guys who do South Park who did it. It is puppets.
They are truly equal opportunity offenders.
It is. Now, I'm going to give a warning. Every third word is a profanity. If you are offended by profanity, skip this suggestion. I will say when we were fairly newlyweds, we went on vacation with Heidi's parents down at Lake Powell, which is fabulous,
yeah.
and we brought it with us. And we sort of, like Heidi and I remember, this is really, really funny, and I think we didn't quite remember that every third word is a profanity.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there with Heidi's parents as we're listening to blinkety blink, 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 blink. We didn't finish the movie.
Yeah.
Like 10 minutes into it, we just turned
Heidi,
it off.
I can't believe you brought this in front of your parents, right?
It was, but it's still funny as all get it. All right. Next movie, Patton.
Yep. Amazing movie. I've watched Patton probably 5-6 times in my life.
All right. Do you know what I did before every Supreme Court argument I ever did?
Well, I can figure it out now. You watched Patton.
Not the whole thing.
Just which scene?
The opening speech.
Okay, yeah.
Just the opening speech, George C. Scott in front of the gigantic flag standing up and saying, "Men, the objective is not to give your life for your country. The objective is to make that other poor son of a bitch give his life for his country." I mean,
I can dig that.
It is
sound advice.
If you can watch that speech and not be inspired, you're dead.
Yeah.
Like it is.
See, those are my weakness movies. I love true stories. I love good versus evil movies. I absolutely love sports movies as well. But there's always usually a big speech in those.
By the way, a buddy of mine collects historical military equipment and clothing and uniforms, and he has Patton's dog tags.
No way.
And I actually have worn Patton's dog tags. They have rested on my bare chest. And I literally felt like I was ready to pull out a pistol and start shooting at an airplane. Like it made you think about that actually rested right above the heart of Patton.
That's incredible.
It's pretty wild.
That's a good thing to own.
All right. Next movie, The Sting. Classic. Have you seen The Sting?
No.
You've never seen The Sting?
I don't even know what it's about.
Oh, Benjamin. The Sting. All-time classic. Robert Redford, Paul Newman. They're con men. It is.
This is when I could really mess with me. Wait, Newman does something outside of like salsa? Like, yeah.
It is hysterical. It is beautifully done. Go and watch.
And what's it about?
It's about con men.
Okay.
And it's worth watching. I probably watched it 100 times. It's
no way.
Such a good movie. All right. Next movie, Awakenings.
Yes, I've seen that.
So
only once.
So Awakenings is fabulous. Robert De Niro.
You're a De Niro fan.
I like De Niro a lot. Not a fan of his politics, but a big fan of his acting. He's a great actor. Although as much De Niro got all the acclaim, but I actually thought Robin Williams stole the show.
Well, I love Robin Williams, so this is right up my alley.
Robin Williams is one of my all-time favorite actors ever. I mean, he's an incredible comedic actor.
So you're going to laugh. I was asked the question if you could have dinner with like any 5 people, who would be at your table, living or alive or dead. I had Robin Williams for years in my list because I think he's just one of the most brilliant actors and genuinely funny human beings.
So when Robin Williams passed, I genuinely cried. And I wrote a long statement about Robin Williams on Facebook that I put up. And I hammered it out on my iPad because he is so funny. His stand-up, if you've ever watched his stand-up routine on golf.
Yeah, I've watched it 100 times.
The one on golf is, again, profane, language warning, but as funny as anything that has ever been said, like screamingly funny. Awakening's the portrayal he gives. I actually like Robin Williams even better in dramatic performances than comedy, and he's one of the funniest human beings ever alive. So, Awakening.
Put it on the list.
Yes, fabulous. All right. The next 2 I view together. Braveheart and Gladiator.
Both amazing, no-brainers.
Incredible. And
Mel Gibson, Russell Crowe, right?
Yes.
Back-to-back. How can you get that wrong?
And both standing and fighting and fighting against oppression, and they're epic movies. Again, if you're not inspired by them, you're dead.
Yeah.
I will say, Mike Lee, there's an app where you can put yourself, you speaking into an audio clip, and he and I used to send things back and forth, and at the end when Mel Gibson is being executed, he screams, "Freedom!"
Yeah.
So Mike would send me videos of him screaming to Mel Gibson's voice, "Freedom!" It was pretty powerful. All right, next, Beverly Hills Cop.
Hands down, one of the funniest movies ever.
Just screamingly funny. Eddie Murphy.
So you're going to laugh. I consider that a Christmas movie because it's like days off. I want to watch the classic. I watch that.
It is every moment of it. Eddie Murphy remains one of my favorite actors of all times. He's
got a new one coming out, a sequel coming out on Amazon. I think it's on Amazon Prime. Did you see that recently? I just saw it this last week. I don't know which one it was, but they were teasing it.
Yes, they're doing a Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Okay, is that what it is?
Or 3. Even.
Yeah.
But look, the original Beverly Hills Cop is screamingly funny, and I actually have 3 Eddie Murphy movies in a row because I love Eddie Murphy. Beverly Hills Cop, Trading Places,
yes,
and Coming to America.
So Coming to America was one of the first movies that was like really edgy that I remember like in my adolescence seeing. Hilarious.
Again, screamingly funny. And Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall, and they play multiple characters and all of the different, in the barbershop when you have Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall going back and forth. I mean, it's amazing. And you know what? They probably wouldn't let you make that movie today.
No, they would not.
It gets racially edgy in a way that like now... the woke world. No, you can't laugh about that.
All over that.
No. You can't have any of that humor. By the way, you want funny humor. Go back to young Eddie Murphy on SNL when he was like 19 years old.
Brilliant and edgy.
And just edgy, comedic, like brilliance. I love... He's by far my favorite character ever on SNL was young Eddie Murphy because it was just so funny.
I like it. Mine's Farley, by the way.
Look, he was great, and he put his whole into it.
Yeah. I mean, I also love...
Fat man in a little jacket.
It's unbelievable. That man down by the river. I mean, but I also love like comedy when there's people falling over, and he could do that part.
His physical comedy was really strong.
Was incredible.
Yep. All right, next on the list, Wall Street.
Yep. Just
all-time Gordon Gekko. One of the great all-time classics. By the way, a line that I quote frequently. Gordon Gekko is in the locker room getting cleaned up after playing racquetball, and he turns to Charlie Sheen and he goes, "I'm on the board of the Bronx Zoo. Cost me $1 million. That's the thing about wasps. Love animals. Hate people." There's some insight there.
There is some insight there for sure.
Hidden Figures.
Yes.
Wonderful movie. Incredible movie about the African-American female mathematicians who were foundational to America going to the moon. And for me, there are two kind of personal reasons why that movie is significant to me.
One, it's got to be because of Houston.
Well, when we went to see the movie, I took my mother to the movie, I took Heidi to the movie, I took both my daughters to the movie. And it was interesting. My girls, it was the first time they'd seen a movie that had segregation.
Yeah. The bathroom is one of the most iconic scenes in that whole movie.
And it led to, I had a long conversation with both of them, and they were like, well, why would people have done that? And to talk about segregation and civil rights and just sort of walk through the history of it, it prompted really good conversations with my girls. But secondly, so my mom graduated from Rice in 1956, and she had a math degree. And she went to work as a computer programmer at Shell. She subsequently went to work at the Smithsonian. And you remember the movie Hidden Figures begins with Sputnik being launched and sort of the space race beginning. One of my mother's first assignments at the Smithsonian was to help compute the orbits of Sputnik. And so in front of the girls, I asked my mom, I said, Mom, you were doing this. And in fact, you were doing it 10 years earlier. You were doing it in the 50s. Hidden Figures is set in the 60s. And I said, how accurate is it? And my mother thought it was very accurate, that it did a really good job of conveying what it was like to be a woman in space and science and a technical environment. And I commented to her, I said, okay, one of the strange things to a more modern ear is that they referred to the women there as computers.
Yeah.
And we think of a computer as a piece of metal.
But they were actually called computers because they were actually doing the math.
And my mother started laughing at me, and she said her first job title was computer. And when she started at Shell, she had a business card that said Eleanor Dara, computer.
No way.
And so in response to that, I introduced legislation to rename the street in front of NASA headquarters Hidden Figures Way. And this is actually a really cool story. I introduced that legislation. Before it could pass, and we would have gotten it passed, but a D.C. city councilman saw that legislation and said, you know what, that's a great idea. And the D.C. city councilman introduced it in the D.C. city council. The guy's a Democrat.
Yeah.
And he got it passed. So the D.C. city council passes it.
That's cool.
So I went to the street sign dedication, and that is the street sign there. And I was there. I spoke at the dedication.
And where is it?
It is the headquarters of NASA in D.C.
In D.C. Okay, cool.
And so NASA, the address of NASA is 1 Hidden Figures Way.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
So I spoke at the dedication. The D.C. city councilman spoke, and he's a Democrat. I'm a Republican. And I told the story of my mom, which was really cool to get to tell. And I said, look, at some level you might say, listen, the street sign's not that big a deal.
That one is.
But at another level, 50 years from now, 100 years from now, some little girl, some little boy is going to come visit NASA. And they're going to look up and see the street sign, and they're going to say, hey, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And they're going to hear the story of the pioneering African-American women who were the mathematicians that got us to the moon. And so it's where movies and stories are powerful.
Did any of the characters of the movie, did any of them get to come to that?
That they did. They had passed by the time we did that, so no. All right, we just got a few more. Schindler's List.
One of the hardest movies to watch.
Yes.
The other one is that I've only watched it one time because I just can't bring myself to watch it again, is Lone Survivor. Those two movies to me are must-sees, but I don't know if it's because I've become a dad and having kids now and watching the kids, I just can't watch them like I used to.
So as you know, a couple of weeks ago I was at Normandy for the 80th anniversary of D-Day, and wildly enough I got to meet Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks, which was really cool. And I had pretty extended conversations with both of them, and they've done, look, their politics are both left of center, but they've done an amazing job really honoring and telling the stories of the greatest generation, whether Saving Private Ryan, whether Band of Brothers, whether The Pacific. And so we're talking about that, and I was talking with Spielberg about Schindler's List, and just talking with the heroes, the World War II heroes, who almost all say, well, I could have done more. I could have done more, and the real heroes are under those crosses behind us. And I was telling Spielberg, I said, hearing them say that reminds me of the end of Schindler's List, where Oskar Schindler is like, I could have done more. And he looks down at his gold watch. And he said, this watch could have saved 3 more people. 3 more people are dead because I I kept my watch. And you think about the heroism of his rescuing Jews from the Nazis and the incredible courage, but at the same time, why didn't I do even more? And that to me is the most beautiful moment of that movie, is the sort of...
Did I do enough?
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to take a detour to the world of musicals. So I like musicals.
Do you like Broadway?
I do. I love Broadway. Absolutely.
If you go to New York, you would put it on your list to go see a show.
I love Broadway, and I'm going to have 4 musicals on here.
I'm ready.
So number 1 is my father's favorite movie of all time, which is My Fair Lady.
Okay.
And My Fair Lady is fantastic.
I've seen it because of my mom and my sister multiple times.
Why can't the English?
I've never watched it outside of
Teach the children how to speak. Norwegians learn Norwegians. The Greeks are taught their Greek.
See, this is why I said this show would be entertaining, because I would have never thought you were a musical guy.
Oh, it is spectacular.
Favorite Broadway show you've ever been to?
I'm going to get to that.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to get to that. So the second one there is Oliver.
Yep. Great.
Oliver is spectacular. So look, in high school, I was president of the drama club.
I have way too many one-liners, but I'll leave that for another show. Keep going.
You were captain of the tennis team. I was president of the drama club. Okay, I get that. There's a reason why you would have stuck me in the locker if we had known each other.
That would have gotten you a smackdown for sure.
Yeah, but so look, all politicians are frustrated actors. It's just part of the. It is.
Did you act in high school?
Oh yes, a lot.
What were you in?
So I did.
Do we have 8 tracks of this, or what was it? Beta cam.
They may be somewhere.
Okay.
So let's see. I've done Sound of Music twice.
What'd you play?
So I played the first time. I played Rolf.
Yeah.
And I warbled out "You Are 16, Going on 17."
No way.
And then the second time I played Max.
Yep.
I did Oliver, and Oliver's a fabulous show.
It's a classic, yeah.
So Oliver was my senior year, and the head of the music department told me, hey, we're doing Oliver next year. And he said, I'd love to have you play Fagin, if you can sing it. And my curse, look, I'm a terrible singer. I cannot carry a tune to save my in a bucket.
Yeah.
I wish I could. I have
You were not given that, neither was I.
And so I actually went, and for like 6 months, I took voice lessons to try to be able to sing. Fagin is such a fabulous
Did you get any
role.
better in the 6 months?
A little bit.
Yeah.
And so what happened, and the nice thing about Fagin is Fagin's songs are more spoken than sang. So, for example, the song Reviewing the Situation. A man's got a heart, hasn't he? Joking apart, hasn't he? And though I'd be the first to admit that I wasn't a saint, I'm finding it hard to be really as bad.
So when I see your dad next time, I'm going to say those 6 months was worth it now, right?
I'm reviewing the situation. Can a fellow be a villain all his life? All the trials.
I'm not worried about you after you retire. I know what you're going to do.
Better settle down and get myself a wife. And
you remember
life will cook and sew for you and come for you and go for you and go for you and nag at you. The finger she will wag at you.
How many tickets do they sell for this is what I really want to know.
So I prepared. That song was one. Now, it's mostly spoken. It's not really. Yeah. So I could do it marginally competently after 6 months practicing. I did that at the tryout.
And then what did he say?
And then afterwards, the music director said, hey, Ted, stick around. And he went to the piano and he said, sing this. And he went, dun, 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 dun. And I went, dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
And he did it like 3 times. And he goes, okay. I'm like, damn it.
Not happening.
So I was cast as Bill Sykes. It's the second male lead with no singing.
Yeah.
It's a fun role. You're the villain. You get to like beat up Oliver Twist and like but I wanted to play Fagin. I wanted to play that role badly, and I did not get it. All right, 2 more musicals. Hamilton, which is utterly exquisite. I've seen it multiple times. It is brilliant. It is beautiful. It is powerful. My girls know the songs. There are few things that make me happier than when my daughters are singing songs from Hamilton. I mean, there was a period where they were obsessed with it.
You and I were talking about this the other day. My dad, I took him to New York for the first time ever for his 70th birthday. And you said, did you go see a show? And I was like, do you want to see Hamilton? He's like, I'd rather go to the Yankees game. And then the next night, I was like, I'd rather have a nice meal. I tried hard. I tried to get him to Hamilton. It just wasn't on the list.
And then my favorite music of all time is Les Mis.
Really?
And I love Les Mis. I think.
Do you get choked up? Be honest. Because I'm a sucker for those things. I get the lump in the throat.
Choked up.
Yeah.
All right. So what song gets you choked up?
Oh, the one the most famous. I'm terrible with it. It's the one that Anne Hathaway does. That's so good.
Oh, and she won the Academy Award for it.
Every time it gets me.
So that is beautiful. I'll tell you the two that get me choked up are number one when Jean Valjean is saying "Let him live."
Yep.
And he's looking down, and he says, if I die,
that one's incredible.
Let me die.
Yeah,
let him live.
Yeah.
And it's a prayer to God to let him live.
Every time
I have tears every time. And the other one that gets me is the song "Empty Chairs and Empty Tables" at the end, when everyone has died. And I will confess, at the end of the presidential campaign in 2016, as I walked through the empty campaign office and I saw the empty chairs and empty tables, I heard the refrains of that song. So Les Mis is exquisite. All right. By the way, so 1993, I was just finished my first year of law school, and I had a job in New York. I was working in a law firm in New York for the summer. And I decided to fly my mom to New York for the weekend. And so it's 1993, so I actually FedExed a plane ticket, and this is back when a plane ticket was a piece of cardboard.
Yeah.
I FedExed a plane ticket to her with nothing else. It was literally, she opened the FedEx package and just a plane ticket to New York fell out, and she called me, and she's like, Ted, I assume this is you. I said, yeah. I had no note, no nothing, just a plane ticket and the FedEx thing.
Get on the plane, I'll see you soon, Mom.
So I flew her to New York, and we went out to dinner at Boulay, which at the time was the nicest restaurant in New York, was fabulous. And then I took her one night to see Camelot, which was really fun.
Yep.
And then the next night to see Les Mis.
And did she love it?
She loved it.
That's one of those ironed memories for the rest of life.
Yeah, no, that was just very cool to go do that. All right. So we have a total of 3 more. I'm going to say The Magnificent Seven.
Incredible. Watched it 10 times.
The original one.
Yes,
okay.
with my dad.
All right.
That's like in my dad's, I grew up on John Wayne and war movies.
Yeah, like Magnificent Seven.
Yeah, and that was I remember watching it with
Other than
him.
Unforgiven, Magnificent Seven is the greatest Western that's actually originally a Western. Unforgiven was sort of a modern remake format, but Magnificent Seven is exquisite with, Yul Brynner and Charles Bronson and
that was the
James Coburn.
Oh, when Mom was out of town, that was one of the movies we watched.
Oh, it was so good. It's a fabulous movie. And then I'm going to end with 2. Quentin Tarantino.
Is it the Inglourious Bastards? Is that where we're going with this?
So I'm going to start with Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
Which is fantastic. And then the last one is Inglourious Bastards.
Yep.
And I feel bad that I left Reservoir Dogs off because Reservoir Dogs is exquisite too.
But the other ones are above,
If you made me pick 2, I go with Pulp Fiction and Inglourious Bastards is a spectacular movie. So that's 25 movies, which if you've got some downtime, download them, watch them. You will enjoy them. You will laugh. You will be moved. You will be...
And send your critiques on Twitter. We'll take them. And let me ask you one other question. If you could only take one movie and one TV series to a desert island with you, what would you pick? Only one movie and only one TV series. That's all you got to watch.
The Princess Bride and Criminal Minds.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah.
I like it. See, now we know a little bit more about you. Don't forget, we do the show Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Every once in a while, we get to do something fun like this. So make sure you hit that subscribe or auto-download button. And the Senator and I will see you back here in a couple of days.